What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is your Beyond Tomorrow channel for the most breathtaking stories in aviation history and the colossal flying machines that defy everything we thought was possible. If record-breaking engineering and sky-dominating behemoths are your thing, then you've landed in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving deep into a countdown of the 10 biggest aircraft ever constructed. Flying titans that stretch the very limits of human creativity and ambition. Some of these machines are still cutting through the clouds today, while others have become immortal chapters in the story of flight. So lock in, get comfortable, and prepare to have your mind absolutely blown as we take off into the world of aviation's greatest giants. Let's kick things off with number 10. Number 10, Airbus Beluga XL. Starting our list at the 10th spot is an aircraft that looks like it swallowed another aircraft whole. The Airbus Beluga XL. One glance at this machine, and you'll understand why people lovingly call it the flying whale. Its bloated, rounded fuselage makes it look almost cartoonish, but behind that quirky exterior lies a precision-engineered industrial workhorse with a very specific and critical mission. The Beluga XL exists for one reason and one reason alone: to transport enormous pre-assembled sections of Airbus commercial jets, wings, fuselage panels, and other oversized structural components, between Airbus manufacturing sites scattered across Europe. Standard cargo aircraft simply cannot accommodate these massive parts, which is why the Beluga XL was born. Stretching 63 meters from nose to tail, with a wingspan of 60.3 meters, and a maximum takeoff weight of 227 tons. This aircraft is both a spectacle and a necessity. What truly elevates the Beluga XL beyond just a quirky-looking plane is its seamless role within Airbus's entire production ecosystem. Without it, the assembly pipeline would grind to a halt. Currently active and in regular service, the Beluga XL is proof that sometimes the most unusual-looking solutions are the most effective ones. A brilliant example of aviation engineering being shaped entirely by purpose. Number 9. Boeing 777-300ER. Sliding in at number 9 is a commercial aviation legend that has quietly dominated international routes for over 2 decades. The Boeing 777-300ER. This aircraft is not just big, it is a masterclass in how to build something enormous without sacrificing efficiency or reliability, measuring nearly 74 meters in total length and tipping the scales at 351.5 tons at maximum takeoff. The 777-300ER is among the most successful wide-body jets ever produced. It routinely connects distant corners of the globe in a single flight, carrying up to 396 passengers in typical configurations across oceans and continents without stopping. The secret weapon behind its long-range capability lies under the wings, the General Electric GE90 turbofan engines. These are not just powerful, they are among the largest and most potent commercial jet engines ever manufactured, each generating over 110,000 pounds of thrust. First clearing the runway in 2003, the 777 quickly became the preferred choice for airlines chasing ultra-long-haul routes, and it has held that position ever since. Even as newer aircraft designs enter the market, the 777-300ER continues to be the trusted workhorse for some of the world's biggest carriers. It's dependable, it's massive, and it's a genuine icon of the modern aviation era. A plane that simply refuses to be replaced. Number 8. Antonov An-124 Ruslan. At number 8, we travel back in time to the Soviet Union for one of the most formidable cargo aircraft ever to take to the skies, the Antonov An-124 Ruslan. Born out of the USSR's need for a strategic heavy-lift solution during the Cold War era, this aircraft was designed from the ground up to transport things that seemed untransportable. We're talking battle tanks, military helicopters, massive industrial turbines, and entire factory machinery setups. The numbers alone tell a story. 69 meters long, a wingspan of 73.3 meters, and a jaw-dropping maximum takeoff weight of 405 tons. The N124 first lifted off in 1982, and what set it apart from almost everything else in its class was its nose-loading capability. The entire front section tilts upward, allowing heavy cargo to be driven or rolled directly into the hold, with remarkable speed and ease. Decades have passed, and yet this Soviet-era titan refuses to step aside. Both military forces and civilian freight operators around the world still rely on it to this day. The fact that an aircraft conceived in the early 1980s remains not just operational, but genuinely competitive in the 21st century is a tribute to just how revolutionary and enduring its design truly was. 5M Super Galaxy. Number 7 belongs to a machine that has been the backbone of American military power projection for well over half a century. The Lockheed C-5M Super Galaxy. When the United States Air Force needs to move enormous quantities of military hardware quickly and over vast distances, this is the aircraft that gets the call. At 75.3 meters in length and with a wingspan approaching 68 meters, the Super Galaxy is genuinely staggering in scale. Its maximum takeoff weight reaches 381.5 tons, and it can haul up to 135 tons of cargo in a single sortie. Armored vehicles, attack helicopters, heavy artillery, construction equipment. If it needs to get somewhere fast and the mission demands air delivery, the C-5 handles it. What makes it operationally exceptional is its drive-through design. Cargo can be loaded from both the front nose ramp and the rear tail ramp simultaneously, dramatically cutting the time spent on the ground. The C-5 Galaxy originally entered service in the late 1960s, and the C-5M Super Galaxy upgrade has breathed entirely new life into the platform, with modern engines and avionics, ensuring this aerial colossus will remain a central pillar of strategic airlift operations for many years ahead. Number 6. Boeing 747-8. Coming in at number 6 is the most sophisticated and final evolution of arguably the most iconic commercial aircraft ever conceived, the Boeing 747-8. For generations of travelers, the sight of that distinctive upper deck hump has symbolized the romance and adventure of long-distance flight, and the 747-8 carries that legacy into the modern age with remarkable grace. Stretching 76.3 meters in length and capable of lifting off at 447 tons, it stands as the longest and heaviest member of the entire 747 family. The 747-8 was produced in both a passenger-carrying variant and a dedicated freighter version, with the cargo edition proving particularly vital for global trade networks that depend on moving high-value or oversized goods between continents. At a time when the aviation industry has been shifting towards smaller, more fuel-conscious twin-engine jets, the 747-8 has held its ground in markets where sheer capacity still reigns supreme. It carries with it not just passengers and cargo, but also decades of aviation heritage and a silhouette so recognizable that it has become nothing short of a cultural symbol in the history of human flight. Number 5. Airbus A380-800. We've arrived at the midpoint of our countdown, and at number 5 sits the undisputed champion of passenger aviation in terms of sheer size, the Airbus A380-800. Nothing in the history of commercial air travel has ever carried more people in a single aircraft, and it's unlikely anything will for quite some time. At nearly 73 meters in length, boasting a wingspan of almost 80 meters, and a maximum takeoff weight of a staggering 560 tons, the A380 is a two-deck, four-engine behemoth that redefined what airports, airlines, and passengers thought was possible. In its most densely configured layout, it can accommodate over 800 travelers at once, though most airlines chose more comfortable arrangements with lounges, bar areas, and even private shower suites in first class. Flying on an A380 isn't just getting from one city to another. For many people, it's an event in itself, a flying experience unlike anything else in the sky. Airbus officially ended A380 production in 2021. But the aircraft is far from retirement. Emirates continues to fly these magnificent machines on its busiest international routes, and as long as those planes keep flying, the A380 will remain one of the most awe-inspiring achievements in the entire history of commercial aviation. Number 4. Caspian Sea Monster / Lund-class Chronoplan. At number 4, we take a sharp detour away from conventional aviation into something that looks like it was ripped straight out of a science fiction film. The Soviet Lund-class Chronoplan, better known to the world as the Caspian Sea Monster. And yes, that name is absolutely earned. This extraordinary machine defies easy classification. It was neither a true aircraft nor a conventional ship, but an entirely unique category of vehicle unto itself. Stretching 92 meters from end to end, longer than a full-sized football field, with a wingspan of 37.6 meters. It operated by exploiting a phenomenon called ground effect, which generates extra lift when a vehicle flies extremely close to a surface. In this case, the surface was water, skimming just meters above the Caspian Sea at speeds that left naval vessels far behind. The Lund class was powered by 8 massive jet engines mounted in striking formation along its forward fuselage. It was designed as a weapons platform, capable of launching anti-ship missiles at frightening speed and with minimal radar visibility. Number 3. Hughes H-4 Hercules / Spruce Goose. The bronze medal on our countdown goes to a machine that flew exactly once, for roughly 60 seconds, at a height barely clearing the water's surface. And yet it became one of the most celebrated aircraft in history. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Hughes H-4 Hercules, immortalized by the world as the Spruce Goose. Conceived during the Second World War as a solution to the devastating toll that German U-boats were taking on Allied supply ships crossing the Atlantic, the H-4 was designed to carry troops and military equipment safely through the air, bypassing the deadly ocean lanes altogether. With steel and aluminum rationed for the war effort, aviation pioneer Howard Hughes constructed this colossus primarily from laminated birchwood, a remarkable engineering workaround. The resulting aircraft was breathtaking in scale, 66.7 meters long with a wingspan of 98 meters, which held the global record for the longest wingspan of any aircraft for several decades. By the time it was completed, however, the war was over. Hughes flew it himself on its one and only flight in November 1947, proving it could indeed lift off. Number 2. Stratolaunch Rock. Claiming the runner-up position is the most physically wide aircraft ever constructed by human hands, the Stratolaunch Rock. And when we say wide, we mean it in a way that is almost difficult to comprehend. The Rock's wingspan measures an extraordinary 117 meters, surpassing every other aircraft in history in that single remarkable dimension, with a maximum takeoff weight approaching 590 tons and a total length of 73 meters. This twin fuselage 6-engine marvel exists for a purpose that goes far beyond conventional aviation. It is, at its core, a flying launch pad for rockets. The concept is elegant in its ambition. Instead of building an expensive ground-based launch facility and burning enormous amounts of fuel just to blast through the lower atmosphere, you fly the rocket up to high altitude on the back of the rock, then release it mid-air, where it ignites and continues its journey towards space with far greater efficiency. Number 1. Antonov. And 2.25 Mriya. And here we are, the summit of our countdown, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the sky, the aircraft that stood alone at the very top of everything humanity has ever built and flown. Number 1 is the Antonov An-225 Mriya. The name Mriya is a Ukrainian word meaning dream, and from the moment this aircraft first rolled out of its hangar, it was clear that someone had dreamed on an almost incomprehensible scale. Measuring 84 meters from nose to tail, with a wingspan of 88.4 meters and a maximum takeoff weight of 640 tons, a figure that remains unmatched by any other aircraft ever. The An-225 was originally commissioned by the Soviet space program to ferry the Buran space shuttle on its back across vast distances. When the USSR dissolved and the space program wound down, The Maria was repurposed into the world's most extraordinary cargo carrier. No other aircraft could transport the sheer size and weight of loads that the An-225 handled routinely. Power plant generators, locomotive engines, other aircraft, disaster relief supplies, and oversized industrial components that had no other means of air transport. 6 turbofan engines and 32 main landing gear wheels allowed it to bear weights that seemed to belong in the realm of fantasy.